Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm your host, RK, and welcome to the Adult Play Therapy Show. I hope you guys are having an amazing and beautiful, beautiful day. As you guys know, your play sister over here is going through perimenopause and postpartum. So I'm a little bit hot. And on top of that, the heat index in our city is extremely high today. And my studio is upstairs, so I'm feeling all that heat. So you may hear a fan in the background. I'm saying all this to let you know. If you hear a fan in the background, that's why. And of course, I got my miniature fans over here. So, yeah. For anybody who has ever experienced postpartum and or perimenopause, you know the struggle. Raise a hand if you have. Hi, Dow Sanity. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. The Sparkle Company Chicago. How are you? Guys, I am so excited. I'm sure you can tell. I'm always excited whenever we have a guest. I'm always excited. All of my guests are very special to me. I love what we do in this community. You know, we have a very beautiful community where we just share who we are in such an authentic and organic way. And I love that. So I say all this because the Sparkle Company Chicago is joining me on the Adult Play Therapy Show today. Woo! All this confetti is coming down. I promise you, I don't care if it's like year number 5 or year 6. We're going to get some confetti and it's going to shoot out. And then we're going to figure out who's going to clean it up. I have no clue. So without further ado, I will start all the introductions right there. Hi, Coach Play. That's my husband, Coach Play with an I and not a Y. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. You look gorgeous as always.
You too, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
I really do appreciate it. So for you guys who may not know and may not have joined on her beautiful page, or maybe you have and you're already a member, I want to introduce her to everyone. The Sparkling Company Chicago is a fellow artisan, miniature world architect, blogger, founder of the Sparkle Company Chicago, and a play sister. She is someone who is no stranger to life's adversities, enduring the processes of suffering to become a sparkling survivor and overcomer. Her skills and innate talents has literally catapulted her to design fascinating, sparkly accessories for entertainers like Usher and Muni Long. I hope I'm saying her name right. Cardi B, Toni Braxton, Patti LaBellr, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. Love me some Shaka Khan. And Stephanie Mills. Yeah. Yet, she uses her platform to encourage and to inspire others through the Word of God and the experiences of her life's journey. When people enter her page, they are transported into an experience where hope resides, resilience thrives, and every post glitters and sparkles. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
Introduction.
Oh, that's what you have posted and have allowed us to be able to enter into with your page. So I'm just literally speaking what I see.
Thank you for having me. I'm just so grateful to be able to connect with you. That is such, one of the things that I always say is you have to be intentional about the people that you connect with, you know,
So true.
I love your mission. I'm just like, yeah, this is therapeutic. Who knew what we were doing was healing us? I had no idea.
So true. So true. So true. And especially when we're young and we're playing, we're not really thinking about the positive side effects of it. We're just enjoying ourselves while still, you know, a lot of times kids are going through stuff.
Right.
And they're not recognizing, you know, we're not cognizant that playing is helping us. But we do recognize that when we don't play, that we're feeling frustrated and we're going through some things. And I think that's the bonus about being an adult. You can kind of process things a little bit more. You step back, reflect, and you go, okay, when I'm not enjoying myself, when I'm not having fun, the chaos, the trauma, the stress, or, you know, just daily work activities is getting to me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so important. I love it. I love it so much. I remember when I first started, I haven't even been collecting for a long time. I was looking for a doll to take with me to the event because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the Barbie event, and all my friends were like, oh, I'll go, but no one was like going. And I was like, okay, I'm not about to miss something that I really want to do waiting for other people. So
Exactly.
I was looking for a doll and I felt like happiness that I hadn't felt in a long time. And I'm like, what is this feeling? Like, what is this? I'm looking for dolls on Amazon and then I got mine and I put her in my box and I got dressed to go to this pop up event and I had so much fun by myself. And it made me realize, like, in that moment, first of all, when you're alone, it's like you can really be yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And so being able to show up as myself, the people that I was attracting to me during the event, the fun that I had, that's what was missing. I was looking for joy in all these different places, but I couldn't find it until I got back to the thing that I always loved to do. And who knew it would be through dolls?
Exactly. Now, did you collect dolls as a kid?
I didn't collect them as a kid. I'm an artist, so I was the one cutting them up, cutting their hair, making stuff for them, and
Yeah.
going in my mom's closet, stealing her stuff so I can try to
Yeah.
put dresses on them, you know. So yeah,
I think that's the best part of the collection. I mean, I guess you have some. My mom wanted me to be a box collector or a collector that displayed, and I had some that I kept on display, and I had some that I took
yeah,
off the display when I went to my friend's house. You know, went over there and I played with my. I know, like my ambassador doll that I had. Oh my gosh, like I would sneak her out the house and go play. But I think that that's part of it. You know, cutting up the fabric and making the clothes and cutting the hair and being, having a salon day.
yeah.
That's all part of the collection. So yeah, that's awesome. And actually, my question was going to be about your origin story, as far as like what sparked your interest as a doll collector.
Yeah.
And so I guess since you brought up about this Barbie event, what made you decide to go to the Barbie event?
You know, I just really wanted to go. I'm a homebody for the most part, so you know, we do things. My husband and my family, we do things around the city. But I'll tell you, I want to get out the house, and as soon as I get outside, I'm ready to go back in the house. I'm like, okay, that's enough.
I get it.
So when this popped up, it was something that I really wanted to do. It was just so pretty. You know, I love the colors and just the joy that, like, I don't know, it was intriguing to me. You know, I really wanted to go. And I just remember telling people like, hey, I really want to go, and nobody was like going. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go by myself. So I dressed like a doll, like I dressed like a workout Barbie, and I took my Barbie with me, and I'm walking down the street. People's like, hi Barbie, hi Barbie. I'm like, hey y'all. And it was just so much fun. And I remember talking to God, and I asked him to show me what it was to have fun, because I had got
Hmm.
so engulfed in work and life and everything. I didn't know what fun was, and drinking wasn't fun to me. Hanging out, drinking alcohol, and you know, like that. Not saying anything is wrong with that stuff for the people who enjoy that, but for me, that just wasn't fun to me. And so when I got into this and I started making over the Barbie house, and I was waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning before I had to go to work just to work on this house. That's how much I wanted to do it. That's when I knew something had shifted in my spirit. I was happy again.
Yeah, yeah. Now, is this your childhood dollhouse?
Girl, my mama wouldn't give me no dollhouse when I was little. She wasn't having it. So this was the vision board dollhouse. Before there was vision board, this was the one that I wanted in my mind.
I get it. I get it.
I had cardboard boxes, and which is probably why my imagination is like it is, because you know sometimes we think our the way we grow up is like a curse, like you know, growing up poor and not having certain things. I was raised by a single mom. She did the best that she
Same
could.
here.
We went without, you know, we walked to the grocery store, we caught the bus, we walked to the laundromat, like everything. And so in my mind, it was always like this. Like in my mind, it was always like glamorous stuff. So I had to make that for myself because we couldn't afford it. So I guess I'm grateful for that experience, because the longing for that helped me to be able to create in my mind
Mm,
what I wanted to see. You know what I mean?
I love that. I love that. And I think that I would say, because I share that bond with you right there. I was raised by a single parent, and so it was either you're going to have the food You're either going to use the money for having food on the table,
Right.
or if we go ahead and we get into this luxury, with the dollhouse or toys or whatever, something's going to be missing that's essential.
Right.
So I totally understand that vibe. And I think, too, as a parent, because we have 11 kids, so it's really easy. My husband, we do, so it's very easy to want to give them this and give them that and go to this activity. But in the same hand, you have to make sure that their essentials are taken care of. And then you're hoping and praying at the same time that when they grow up, they don't see it as a curse. They don't see it as something that was wrong. That they're able to use what they have right now, their imagination, to be able to come up with something great when they get older. So I love that you brought that up, because the struggle is what helps make you who you are right now.
Yeah, we are creators. I was at the other day, like, God gave us the ability to create, and I was reading about the parable of the talents, and they were saying how, like, if you don't use what you have, then God takes it away from you. And I notice every time I use my gifts, people like, you so talented, you so this, and I just give glory and honor to him, because I'm like, it's me, yes, but he's the one who's giving me the ability to be able to do this. Because, like I said, I can see things in my mind. Like, I knew that I wanted to cover this dollhouse. This dollhouse is 84 inches long. I couldn't even take it to the news because it's so big. It's 84 inches long, and it's about 6 feet tall. And so I wanted to cover it in rhinestones, and not because, I don't know, it wasn't for nobody else. It was for me. It was for my child. It was like, I want to see this done, and I sit down and I just look at it every day, and it gives me so much peace to just look at it. And it's like a feeling that I don't think I could get from anywhere else,
It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic. It gives you that peace, that calm that you need, plus a smile on your face to be able to know that from your hands you were able to create this, that God, had you to do it. So yeah, I can
dressing the dolls too. That's one of my other favorite things to do. Is like, I'll get my tea and like play some jazz, and I'll get one of my dolls and I'll just start dressing her and putting her outfit on. That is so relaxing.
Yes, I fully agree. Now I do have a question, because you have older children, and I have seen posts where they helped you as far as with being able to put the designs, putting the bling on the accessories. How has it been for them as far as seeing you embrace your inner child and have fun? Has that helped them to also embrace their inner child on their journey?
I wouldn't say it helped them to embrace their inner child. I think more so what they see now is the building of something, because I would always kind of like, before my business became what it is now, I would always say, go take this to the Sparkle Company, and they would kind of laugh at me. Like, I'm like, because, take it to my office, that's the Sparkle Company. And so for them, it's more so seeing somebody take nothing and turn it into something. You know what I mean? So they get to see the process of me building from starting in our dining room to, creating for celebrities and doing things like that. So they really got to see from the beginning to where I am now. And then that you don't stop, you know what I mean? But you always, like, I feel like it's not your business if it's running you. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And I'm teaching them, like, what's important to me is my family. So if I can't spend time with my family, or if I'm, doing things that take me away from the important things that I love, then I'm not doing what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I do think that when they get a little bit older, they'll see. I think they don't think it's weird. Like, they understand, like, I like the dolls and stuff. And they're boys too. I got all boys. I don't have any daughters. So they're just like, oh, mom likes dolls. She likes Barbies. Okay.
Yeah.
It's normal to them.
Exactly. It's been normalized. It's just like, okay, no big deal. It's no big deal. But yeah, I wondered, like, how did that help them as far as being able to find their own joy? Because I feel like there's a lot of stress that goes on, especially with young people nowadays.
Yeah.
And we have the social media, and there's such a desire to grow up and become. I want to know, like, watching you and seeing you and being hands-on with you with everything, if that was also encouraging them about finding their own joy and making sure to stay in that place of joy as much as they can.
Yeah. You know, I can't really say right now. It's still developing, you know, because I see them on their phones and I try to encourage them to not, you know, be so dialed into everything that's going on. And what they say children do as they see, not as
Yeah.
they're told, you know. So I'm hoping a lot of that will rub off onto them because right now, especially the ages they are, I have a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, and then my oldest is 21. He's in the military. So, you know, they're really, really engulfed into what's popular and stuff, but they do take quiet time to reflect. And, you know, I've taught them that, the putting the phone down and touching base with yourself, and in the morning when you wake up, like ask yourself, how do I feel, you know, like pause in to really check in with yourself to see how you feel. And I teach them things like that. They call me spiritual mom, so I think I get on their nerves, but
No, they appreciate it. They appreciate it.
I hope so. Girl, I hope so. I feel like I be getting on their nerves. I be like, now you know.
I do that too, so it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm called hovering and everything else. I don't mind. I was talking to my husband not too long ago. I said, I know people feel like I may hold the reins, you know, the reins or whatever too much, and I'm hovering, or, you know, maybe I'm the Velcro. I don't mind. I don't mind. Make sure that my babies are okay and that they are growing up the way that God has for them to, and
I
that they
think
have,
that's the
yeah,
thing. I brought mine. I was like,
girl. Look at you all sparkled out. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I know I have my hot flashes. One minute I'm hot, next minute
Yes.
I'm cold. So I got my blanket and my fan.
Yes, yes. I was telling my kids because I was like, you know, I didn't hear a whole lot about perimenopause. I heard about menopause, and I
Yeah,
still never did get the details of it when I was young. So I've been learning about it while going through it. And
yeah,
now, of course, there's more emphasis being placed on perimenopause and what it is and what you feel. But I tell you, it's like this inner heat that's just hard to describe, because the kids asked me yesterday, they were like, well, are you hot on the outside? Like, what's going on? I said, no, it's from the inside. It feels like a furnace. And then
yeah,
I can feel sweaty behind my kneecaps and just,
yeah,
and then before you know it, you just got like the sweat, you know,
yeah.
falling down, just trickling down. It's,
I know you gotta get you some of those cooling. They have like cooling pajamas and stuff like that. You gotta
oh,
get.
really?
Yeah, they have cooling pajamas, cooling pillowcases.
I haven't. I have the pillow, not the pillowcase. I didn't know about the pillowcase.
Yeah, so if you can get anything cooling, get that in your world, so that'll make you more comfortable.
Oh, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Because you know, like I'll put the blanket on and the blanket's off, and I've always been a person that gets hot at night already, but now it's like getting so hot, of course, that you're up, and then you got to kind of like get yourself to ease back down. You got to put the fan on. It's just,
It's a lot. Trust me, I understand. I
thank you
understand.
for understanding. It is a lot. Now, when we talk about your title for your company, you have the Sparkling Company Chicago. Do you have other? I've always been curious. Do you have other franchises in other cities? Is this going into other cities?
You know, that's why I named it that. That's my big vision, you know, to have the Sparkle Company Chicago, the Sparkle Company France, you know, just everywhere.
Okay.
Right now, it's just the Sparkle Company Chicago. And I used to do things a lot differently. So, like what you see, the pieces that I've done for the celebrities, I used to do pieces like that for, you know, just everyday people. And I loved that for a while, but it got redundant because people wanted the same things over and over again. And that's when I took a pause and I said, okay, what do I want to do? Because I'm not a machine and I don't want to make the same things over and over again. So, you actually see me in a pivoting stage right now where I'm actually transitioning my business. And so
Oh,
uh,
wow.
that's why these pieces, we can talk about that more later, but these pieces will be going on display for
Oh,
installation. And is everything okay?
yes, yes. My Wi-Fi was doing something odd, so I was trying to get it to
Oh,
correct. I'm so sorry.
no, it's
Yeah, I'm
okay.
right
I
here.
thought it was wrong. So, yeah, I just, right now, I'm really focusing on my health. because my battery is not at 100%. Like, I'm tired right now. I'm still going through my treatments and things like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Well, thank you for being with me. Well, like I said, we're going to do this at a max 100. Oh, I said 100, but a max an hour. When you said 100, it got, but a max an hour. If you need to, if any point in time you're like, no, I need to go ahead and go ahead and get on off. That's fine.
okay. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
just taking my time. So as long as I can do that. But yeah, that's what really taught me to kind of slow down a little bit with my health was I started having those things come up, and I realized, okay, I was trying to get somewhere, that feeling of just hustling and wanting to make it for myself and stuff. But God really slowed me down, and He just had me in a deep season of restoration. And that's where I've been, but it's not wasted. During this time, I've been doing a lot of reading and I've been taking classes and just thinking about how I want to pivot my business, but I'm definitely staying in the 1/6 scale area. I can tell you that. I love
I'm
it.
like,
I
I'm
ain't
like,
going
I agree. I agree with you on that. And I love that you are taking that time to rest and restore, allowing God to restore you. And it also reminds me of what I read on your blog when you talked about that there's no time wasted and that there is time where you just need to rest and allow God to heal you from the inside out. For those who don't know, you do have a blog, and your blog is located in your profile, correct? So if someone wants to go to your blog, they can go right on the profile and find it.
Yes, and thank you for sharing that. I do. I don't write as often as I did. I say I'm only going to write when I have something to say. So I want to make sure that even that stays, authentic. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, yes. And it's been very, very inspiring to read what you have on there. One of the things that I've always enjoyed your page. I will say that. I've always enjoyed your page. But what really clicked for me on a different level was when you had shared your story as far as having cancer twice.
Yeah.
And you shared how the first time you had it, and it stuck out to me so much. The first time you had it, how you put more of an emphasis on it, and you could really feel it in your health as far as feeling more down.
Yeah.
And the second time you decided to reframe it, you said that you knew it was there, you were going to do what was necessary to treat the ailment, but in the same hand, you weren't going to make that the main focus. You weren't going to put so much emphasis on it and let it grow to be bigger than life,
Yeah.
allowing yourself to really be in joy. So if you don't mind, could you briefly share with everyone what that was like and the differences of being able to immerse yourself in joy
Yeah.
compared to the first time?
Absolutely. Thank you for that. So the first time, like you said, I just remember, it was very overwhelming because there was a lot of like the cancer support groups, and I was going to treatment 5 days a week. So it took over so much of my life. And I just remember, it was cancer this, cancer that, and you got to do that and this and that. And then at the time I didn't know any better. I thought that's what I had to do. And so in the support groups, we're talking about the disease and how it's affecting us, and you
Mm-hmm.
and you want people who understand it, so you're talking to people who have it too, and those things can be helpful. But like,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like you gave it a front seat, like you almost give it a front seat to your life, and you're like,
Yes.
here, you can join me and come sit down, like you're inviting it to sit down at the table with you. And
For
I'm just
sure.
like, and so this time I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't need any support groups. And my doctor looked at me. She was like, are you sure? I said, no, I'm fine, because I realized, um, first of all, these things happen. And I think sometimes that's where we get lost, is we think that we just supposed to go on about life without things happening to us.
For
But it's
sure.
not that they're happening to us. Sometimes things happen for us, and we look at it as if it's happening to us, and really it can be a blessing in disguise. I walk through the cancer centers now with my head held high. I still have myself put together, and I still go in there with a smile on my face. And people like, excuse me, can you tell me, are you a patient here? Are you, like, they don't know. I'm like, yes, I am, just like you. And this is the thing. This is not going to be my life. This is not my life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna come in
Yes.
and I'm gonna get my treatment. And like you said, I'm outside. I'm sitting in the grass. I'm playing with my dogs. You know, I'm drinking my water. I'm still having a good time. Like I said, I can't move at the rate that I want to move, and I give myself grace to, you know, take my time to do what I need to do, but I just don't allow it to take over my life. I don't, and I don't allow it to get me down or anything like that. That's why I always pray and I keep God first, and I
Yeah.
just ask Him to guide me and order my steps, you know, and give me strength, because you said that your strength is made perfect in my weakness.
Yes.
So I'm
Yes.
those things to myself, and you said that I was healed. You know, you told me that,
By his stripes.
and so, Amen. That's what I'm saying. You know, and I just walk in there and I do what I have to do. And I believe He's using me during this time to be able to connect with other people so that they too can know that they don't have to make that the front part of their life. You know what I mean? You don't have to lead with that. Like, you can live a life. You can have cancer and you can still live a victorious life. I
Mm.
know in Corinthians, when Paul had the thorn in his side,
Yes.
he asked him to remove it, and he said, "No, my grace is sufficient for you." And I feel like God's grace is sufficient for me during this time.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. I know I did have a tear or two come down. I'm still, I believe bereavement is something that we deal with throughout life.
Yes.
And I had a really good friend of mine, a best friend of mine, grew up with him. And he had cancer, and he passed away right after my firstborn.
I'm so sorry.
Right soon after. So yeah, so I just I did not know it was going to happen. But yeah, just sometimes whenever if I talk about it or if I watch a movie and someone, may have cancer, it'll it'll hit. It'll
It's,
just hit. So I apologize there.
don't you apologize for that. And you always know, like, to be absent from the body is to be present with the
Present with God. Yes.
friend is still with you, and His spirit still lives on through you and everything. So yeah, don't
Yeah.
apologize for that.
Yes, yes, yes. But touching on that same thing, even while he did have cancer, we still went to poetry readings together.
I
Went
love
out when he wasn't in the hospital.
Yeah.
Went to sushi. He still lived his life and still enjoyed himself as much as possible. While still going undergoing treatment and having. He did medicine. I guess it's called like a cocktail because there's so much that he had to,
Yeah.
take on a daily basis.
It's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot. Treatments, they get me down. They really do. But my family keeps me up. I got a great support system. I do. And you all too. Like, when I log on
Yes.
and I get all these messages from my Sparkle Besties, it's beautiful. It really makes my day. And I try my best to focus on that. You know, I focus on the love and the support that I have around
Yes.
me, the people that God is bringing into my life, and I don't I'm gonna have on this earth, but none of us really do.
None of us do.
To sit and think about it like that is not the right way to look at it. I just wake up and take every day, one day at a time, and I thank God to be able to be here. And that's why I said, if I'm here, then let me tell my story.
Yeah.
That's why I want to put this on display, because I'm like, I can tell a story of what I created while I was
Yes.
going through this process, because I was doing chemo and I couldn't wait. Like, I would be down for probably about 5 days with the chemo, and then I would get back up and like, I'm gonna work on the Barbie house. I'm gonna make her a bakery. I'm gonna make her a nail salon. So
Yes.
that's what
Nail
kept me
salon
going.
jamming.
That's what kept me going. Is just to be able to create. Creativity is healing. Like,
Mm.
it's a lifeline for me. Like, creativity
Yes.
is really a lifeline for me. Just being able to do my art in the process, and it's very meditative doing the rhinestones. It's a lot of work. It really is, especially because the pieces that I do are so large, so it's pretty intense. But it is a meditative work, and so I enjoy doing that. And then just thinking about the end result, how it'll look once all the crystals are all done, and the dolls get to live in this beautiful world that
Yes.
I created for them.
And all of your lineup with your crystals is always so straight. Like, are you having to take take a ruler in order to measure that all out and get all your lineup?
No, I do it just by eyeballing it, which I know which ones are crooked too, because I'll look like that's crooked right there.
Only you can. Only you
Yeah.
know, because none of us is like, wow. I mean, like, there's no gaps, there's no, spaces. They're all so lined up. So I was like, oh my gosh, how many hours are you spending before you even put the crystals on? As far as like, I'm thinking like you're having to line up everything and.
No, I just go in and I freehand it, believe it or not. I guess that's part of my talent, maybe.
Yes.
It's not perfect. No, I have some that are crooked, and I'll show them to you. I'll be like, that one's crooked, and my husband's like, only you can see that. I'm like, but that
Exactly.
was crooked.
It looks beautiful. It really, really does.
Thank
And
you.
since you just brought that up about this house and being able to tell your story through it and how you were able to still create in the midst of undergoing treatment, that leads us to the Sparkle verse, which
Yeah.
is what I had connected with you. And I was like, hey, let's talk about it because you have a GoFundMe going on right now that
Yeah.
people can participate in. And I want to, hear from you like what this project is all about.
So the Sparkle verse is an immersive doll world. It's these girls, and I just want people to see. I know you may have experienced that, but I've had women come up to me. They say, "Do you have a daughter?" And I'm like, "No." They're like, "Well, why do you play with dolls?" And it's kind of like a thing. It's like, well, because it's fun. So
Mm-hmm.
the Sparkleverse is just their world, and I want people to come in and see their world and to
Yeah.
get a piece of what brings us happiness. You know what I mean? And so to have all the pieces in one room and pave out all the roads, and everybody will be able to view the dolls in their habitat. So that's what the Sparkleverse is.
Okay. Okay. Now, is this going to be? Where will the location of this be? The
So right now,
Sparkleverse.
that's what I'm actually working on. So I've been dealing with the different art councils here in Illinois, and we're working
Okay.
on finding the right location for it because we got a lot of different projects that's like they're building spots downtown. They have a place. They're building a lot of different buildings, like newer buildings, and so they want artists to contribute art to those things. So we just trying to find the right spot for mine, and I've actually raised $1,600 so far on GoFundMe. So that's exciting.
That
I'm
is. That
so
is.
grateful for everybody who believes in me and who's been donating to the project. It really means the world to me. It does. It does. And then just to really get people to see, because online, like, the videos don't do it any justice. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn, but you would have to see it in person. Like, it literally takes people's breath away. We've had contractors come into our home and they like want to take pictures with it, and everybody's like, wow, what is this? This is so cool. You put all of this on here one by one. Oh my God. And so I don't want to keep that to myself. I want to share that with everybody. And if they can see it and, if it can just encourage them to pause for a moment, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what I want. And so, one of the locations we were looking at is like a shopping plaza. And the investor that I was talking to, he was saying that, it would be nice to put there so we can get people to stop while they're consuming, so we can get them to consume art. You know what I
I
mean?
like that.
Yeah. And
I
so
like that.
that's kind of like what we're looking at, because she got to be taken care of. She can't just sit in a window because the dolls, the vinyl on the dolls, that wouldn't be good for them. So
No.
we got to be mindful of where, and it can't go outdoors. So it has to
Oh
be
no.
an indoor controlled climate type of environment. So that's what we're doing right now. Just working on locations and funding, and it's big in my mind. Look, I'm an only child and I
I
grew up.
do.
So my imagination is huge. So I'm like, okay, we gotta do this out right. They need roads, they need street signs, they need palm trees, they need a land. Like this, it's got to be good.
Yes, yes, and they're going to have to be dusted off too. So we got to be able to make sure that there's someone there that can make sure that.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I love that. I love that. Oh goodness. So how can people get involved to participate
So
as far as with the GoFundMe?
yeah, I have everything linked in my bio. If anybody, I always say if you feel called to, I don't like to pressure anybody. If God put it on your spirit to donate, you can donate using the link in my bio, the GoFundMe. It is still currently going on, raising funds for the Sparkleverse, and anything helps. Anything helps, and I'm grateful for anything.
Good, good, good. So make sure you guys do go to the Sparkleverse. Well, to donate to the Sparkleverse, you need to go to the GoFundMe, and it's located in your blog. Also, recently, you were showcased on the news. And
Yeah.
you have that on your page as well. How was that? How did they get in touch with you and all that stuff? If you don't mind sharing that for everyone.
Yeah, of course. So I was on the WGN TV news segment here in Chicago, and they reached out to me. Was it via Instagram? Via Instagram, and we did a lot of emailing back and forth. And then I was so nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I think like a couple of nights before, I had this dream where I was on TV and these girls were like pointing at the screen, and I thought they were making fun of me. Like I have a visibility, not fear, because I don't want to give it power, but I had that thing of wanting, not wanting to be seen. Kind of like, well, I want to be the artist, but I don't really want
You want to
to.
be unsung, you want to be behind the scenes.
Yeah. But then I realize in this day and age, people want to know you. They want to know what
That's
you
true.
do. And so I'm like, oh God, now I gotta come out. But it was wonderful. Like they honestly made it very warm and welcoming.
That's
And
good.
the hosts, they were so sweet. It's like I think it would have been more difficult if it would have been like a live audience, but it wasn't. So that helped. There were people in the studio, but everybody in the studio was like super sweet and kind, and they told me like where to look and everything. But I had to represent the dolls, so I
Yes.
took small pieces. Like I took my fan, and then I took some headphones and other pieces I did, but I wanted to show like the progression of my work from doing smaller things to being able to work on a larger scale, but then also just representing our dolls, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we got to represent our dollies because they bring us so much joy and so much peace, and they brought us this lovely community that we have.
Yes.
I didn't even know it existed. I thought something, I didn't think anything was wrong with me, so I'm not going to say that. But I just didn't think anything of a community when I started doing what I was doing. I was just doing it because I felt it in my spirit to do it.
Exactly.
And I could care less what anybody thought because I was happy. And then I started seeing people slowly come into my page. And I said, oh, okay. That's
Yeah, it's a
great.
whole big global community.
Yes, it is. So that was the wonderful, unexpected thing, and that part I'm grateful for because I've met so many people within the community so far, and everyone is so kind.
They are.
And I'm so grateful for that. Hi.
They really are. They really are. I've had nothing but positive experiences here. If I've heard from other people and the things that they've gone through, and I always say there's people behind the account. There's the actual human people behind account. So if you do have any, negative experiences, sometimes you just got to chalk it up as it's still humans behind the account. But as far as my experiences, hasn't been anything negative. If you guys have any questions or comments, please put that down. We have a few more minutes. Like I said, I'm not going to be holding you up too long. I just appreciate you for being here with me. One question I would say.
I just love talking to you. You are, first of all, I got to say, you are
Yes.
so full of light. Like, you have such a presence that is just wonderful. I mean,
Thank
like,
you.
you
Glory to
illuminate
God.
from the inside out, and that's why I couldn't wait to be a part of it. Like I knew I wanted to connect with you, and so like I said, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for that compliment. That definitely is the Lord. There's times I don't always feel it.
Yeah, no, you
but
look amazing.
But I appreciate that. That is no one but God. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Just really, really quick. If you could give your younger self any advice, and anyone else that's starting off and they have a dream and they may be afraid to pursue it. They could be with, with what we do, like with our dolls, a 1/6 scale dream. What would be your advice to your younger self or anyone else who's kind of just stepping out and they're new?
Don't let anybody talk you out of what you know is best for you.
Mm, I agree.
Because that was the one thing that took me away from my dolls. I remember somebody told me I was too old to play with dolls, and I bagged them up. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, I'm not going to play with my dolls anymore. I'm a big girl now. And that dream came back to me, or excuse me, that moment came back to me when I was actually working on a Barbie house within the last 3 years. And it broke me. It made me cry because after that, I started to pack away myself.
Mm,
And if you pack yourself
that's
away,
good.
you pack away the opportunities that will come along with you being who you are, and if you can't be your authentic self, then you won't be able to authentically attract the things that are for you, you know.
I,
And
I agree.
that black girls are forced to grow up too quickly. I grew up really quickly. I had my sons
Yeah.
at a young age. I had to help my mom who struggled with mental health issues. I was making adult decisions as a child. And that we could talk about that at another time. I'm open, to talking about that because I know so many people deal with that. But yeah, I had to grow up really
Yeah.
quick, and it took me away from myself. And I think someone said on your show before, if you're not playing with dolls, you're gonna be playing with boys or
Your
something
boys.
like that.
That's what she said.
And definitely, before you knew it, I was pregnant. So
It's true.
had I would have kept my dog, I probably would not have been pregnant at 17. So it was. I definitely say don't let nobody talk you out of what you know is best for you, and stay true. She said children in general are, but
All
it's
right.
us give us a
Uh,
yeah.
mm-hmm.
We just
Yes. Yes. Give a safe space to create be imaginative. And it's Costello said earlier, beautifully said. And one thing I do want to say,
thank you.
because I fully agree with you. I fully agree with with the statement that was said on the previous show, as far as if you're not playing with toys, with dolls, you're gonna be playing with boys, and that is true. But I will add to that everything, and I know you already know that everything happens for a reason, because
Yeah,
you have your beautiful children out of that,
yeah,
and I know with the kids that we have, they have caused me to have to grow up in ways
yeah,
that I didn't realize that I would have to, because I felt like I was already where I needed to be. I knew I still had growth, so it wasn't me saying like, "Oh, okay, I've arrived." But they've shown me different things about myself and even how to love more, because we're both only children, and then you just have to care for you and care for your mom.
yeah,
um, and I understand our moms take care of us and they look out for us, but I do think that there is a different dynamic being an only child. I can't really speak for other people who have brothers and sisters, but always having that concern that, if anything happens to my mom, like, what am I going to do?
yeah,
And then when you have the adult decisions put on you, and it does add, it adds extra weight to everything. So
yeah,
I kind of, yeah. So that was where I was at. I have to love my mom. I have to take care of her. I got to do this and that, and vice versa with her. But then having our kids has really taught and showed me, and having my husband, how to love without having borders and restrictions that I had set up, and I'm still learning.
yeah. That's beautiful how you said that. That was
I'm still.
Yeah, I'm learning. My family teaches me how to share because I don't know how to share.
I listen. I can share. I can share things. I can share time. I used to do missionary work, with like in my teens and stuff. I don't mind sharing that.
Yeah,
But when it comes to my heart, I will be honest, it's so guarded at times, and so I've had to learn how to be more willing to share in my heart space.
Okay.
And I think that it's because, one, just having different childhood traumas that took place taught me how to become more guarded. Learning that you can't trust all adults kind of made me go, okay, well, I'm going to guard myself. Falling in love with, and not even so much as like in relationships with family members, and maybe not getting that same response back, then taught me like, okay, well, then I'm just going to not love so much, because I don't want to get my heart hurt. Like if someone who's in the family isn't going to love me the way that I would like, I'm not going to put so much into relationships, because it can still happen. So having my husband and having my kids has really made me realize, like, okay, you need to open up more. And I'm going to flip it all the way around too with the dolls. Our dolls has also taught me that, because I've read your stuff. You have some storyline involved with yours. And I believe whenever we do storyline, it kind of makes us put our feet into the shoes of someone else.
Yeah.
And then it makes you go, okay, this may be how that person is feeling. This may be what they were going through. And then it helps me with my perspective. So, yeah, it's a healing thing. And it does get you in touch with who you are, who you need to be, and who we're growing to be every day.
I love how you said that with your family, how it teaches you how to love. And I know I've been pretty guarded myself due to past hurts and different things and friendships. I know with being a child, I always wanted a sibling or somebody, so I would kind of gravitate so quickly to people, and I would open up so quickly, and then I would end up getting my feelings hurt. And so it taught me to guard myself, but guarding myself kept me from good experiences. And so now I've learned that I have to open myself up a little bit and don't be afraid to get hurt. I mean, it comes along with the territory, but there's people out there who don't want to hurt you. There's people out there who really do want to love you and be there for you. And so I thank God that I have those people in my life now. And one of my prayers is, Lord, teach me how to be a good friend to them. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
And so I'm learning how to be a better friend, a better wife to my husband, and a better mother as well, just in every way. I always want to improve in no matter what area of my life that I can improve in, but just being a better friend, and sometimes you don't need a whole lot of them. Look, my mom always said, if you got one good friend, that's enough.
Yes. Quality over quantity. That's what I used to hear too. Quality. And that's what we teach our kids. Quality over quantity. You do not need a whole lot. If you got one solid, you got two solid, then you're good. You really do not need a whole lot. Just real quick, my mom, she was in fashion. She was a seamstress and fashion designer for a number of years. And now she's in the medical field. And one of the things that was an ongoing trend that we saw, whenever she would sew for brides, and they had a big bridal party, like 15, anywhere from 8 to 15 bridesmaids. And this is not at all, and anyone has this, that's great. But just as far as like the ongoing trend and pattern during that time, those were usually the marriages that ended up falling apart.
Wow.
The marriages where they went to the courthouse, or they had 2, 3 bridesmaids at the most, were generally always the marriages that over time, when they came back to get something sewed, they wanted to get something altered or whatever the case is, those were the people who usually were still together. And the ones that,
That's interesting. We got married at the courthouse. That's part of the reason why I had Poppy's wedding. I don't know. I don't know if you saw Poppy's wedding. That's part of the reason why I had my dog's wedding. Her wedding was so elaborate because I didn't have one. I'm gonna have another one soon, maybe next year.
That's what we've been saying for a while too. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen for both of us. We're like, yeah, we're gonna have another wedding. That's gonna hopefully be a little bit, more involved. But nonetheless, even if we don't, I'm just grateful that he's my best friend. I got him. By the grace of God, we got each other for life. Same thing with you and your hubby.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be. Quite honestly, I don't even think I would be podcasting right now if it hadn't been for his encouragement. So, I'm really, really grateful. Like you said, support is so important. Yeah. Having a spouse that sees what we do and gets it, doesn't make fun of us, supports us. What do you need me to do? Having him pray it makes all the difference.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. Sis, this has been such a blessing being able to talk to you. And then, just you having the processes that you're undergoing. And I know you said you retired earlier and you still did this. I'm really, really grateful. I want to let you know that, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me. I'm so thankful to be able to talk to you. I'm going to continue praying for you and all your
Vice
endeavors.
versa.
And I pray God continues to elevate you and bless you in all that you do. And I just want you to know that I am so proud of you, and I can feel your spirit is so beautiful. You are so beautiful, so humble. So I thank you, and
Thank you.
I thank you for having me. And I'll keep you posted. I'll send you a message too and let you know what's going on. And I'll hopefully be doing a video soon to update the Sparkleverse. Oh, what
Yes.
possibly say?
I just want to say that the both of you ladies are so inspiring and keep me going in this community. I love seeing your face and your work and your artistic vision. Well, God bless you. And she does a lot of social
She's so
services.
sweet. She is so
She is.
sweet, and I'm so
She,
grateful. I am
she is.
love. I thank you so much for saying
Yes, thank you. Thank you. She is. She's so sweet. I mean, everyone who's on here is just sweet. So sweet. So sweet. The comment that you read a little earlier about Bly Howard, Brooke Bly Howard. Don't get mad at me, Brooke. She also is very active in the community, and you
that.
know,
I'm
yeah.
following them so I can check them out. I know I'm
Yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just really, and that's the beautiful thing about it is that initially, and I think that's what people that's why they go, "Oh, you're too old, you're too old," because they think that you're just being a kid, that you're not taking care of any responsibilities, you're not
oh
contributing.
no,
But I mean, the
all
people
of
in
that.
our community is far from that. We have people that are TV producers that are doing exactly what you're doing right here. Yet you're like creating this whole community and being able to connect with other people that feel the vibe of what you do. People who work with Apple TV or with the Apple company, blah, 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 all this other thing. With Brooke, who I just mentioned, she did an interview with Dr. King's granddaughter. So
Oh,
I
really?
mean, yes, yes. So it's just, and there are people from all different plethoras of life
Yeah,
who have said, I need to find something that gives me joy and stay with it, because life itself can really, drive you kind of mad, and you need to be able to have that balance.
absolutely, absolutely. I feel like, excuse me, we have unlocked the key to life with
Yeah.
finding joy within our dogs and then still being able to be there for our families, be career women, and do everything else. Like, once you unlock joy, you have
Mm.
found the key. Like, you really have.
Yes, yes, yes. As he said, he will give us the desires of our heart if we keep ourselves connected to him, that he will. So, yes, I fully agree. And I'm summarizing that particular verse. So you might have to go, I'm going to have to get the verse and put it right down at the bottom of here.
Yeah, no, that was good though. That's good.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and let you go. But I
Okay,
do hope and pray we're able to have another conversation, especially with any updates with the
yeah,
Sparkle verse.
for sure.
And you guys make sure that you pray. And like she said, God so calls you to then definitely give seed onto this movement. We're going to call it a movement. It's not just a project, but
Yeah,
onto this movement so that we can see it grow, because it's not just about what you're doing, but it's also about what we're doing, because the more focus that goes into like, this is something that we can do as adults, and it's not something that's childish, but it's something that, like you said, is the key to our joy.
yeah,
Then it allows more adult dog collectors to be seen. And before you know it, I mean, shoot, they got the others, golf and all this other stuff going on. Why not have something that has to do with 1/6 scale? We already got the miniatures.
right.
We got the miniature show, reality show. Like, why don't we go ahead and get some more going as far as putting the emphasis on the importance of our dolls and what they do for us.
Yes, for sure.
All
All right.
right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sis. You have a very blessed day.
You
God
too.
bless you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye. Thank you, guys.